by, but we've got the opposition also standing by to this. Greg McLean is the Conservative Party's natural resources critic. I think you probably like this, Greg. And Laurel Collins is the NDP environmental critic. Probably don't like it. I'll find out. Okay, let me start with you, Greg McLean. Beta Nord, what do you make of it, the approval?
We're quite happy with it. Obviously, I haven't seen 137 conditions around Beta Nord, but we've been pushing for this to be approved for quite some time now. There's a 90-day delay and another 40-day delay, and that's a problem with Canada's regulatory environment still with this government, as they keep pushing off all these regulatory hurdles that companies have to get through in order to get their projects approved. And you're talking about $9.5 billion US being spent offshore in Canada here. It's a significant project for Canada and for jobs in Canada.
Yeah, I'm looking through the conditions right now, and there's a lot of them, and it will take us a little time. But Ms. Collins, last week, federal government said, hey, we can cut emissions by 42% by 2030. Now we're going to put, literally by the end of this, 300 million barrels of oil online. Does the NDP support this?
This is the same week that the IPCC report came out. The world's top leading scientists are telling us that we are in a climate emergency. I don't know how many more dire warnings this government needs before they start taking the crisis seriously. They're planning on increasing production emissions. It is just unbelievable. You know, this government has
But they say that this is lower emissions. They argue that they need to get oil to help wean Europe off Russian oil, which is significantly dirtier, plus the revenues are helping Putin. So, you know, I literally talked to Premier Fury of Newfoundland and Labrador yesterday, and he said this is literally the best project. It's short term. We can do it. We can help Europe geopolitically, and we can transition in a cleaner way. What's your response to that?
This government continually says each project is going to be cleaner than the next one. The reality is they're increasing production of oil and gas. We are in a climate emergency. They had 6 years to implement a just transition for workers, implement the real climate solutions, yet they continue to hand out billions of dollars each year to profitable oil and gas companies, fueling the climate crisis. It is wild.
Oh, Mr. McLean, what do you make of this?
Well, I don't know where
I'm trying to look.
Money's actually going at this point in time, but I appreciate where my colleague is coming from on that. However, let's look at where the world is on energy right now. The world over the last 7 years, while the Liberals have been in power, have constrained Canadian export of getting our resources to market. All the projects that are there to get our resources to market years ago aren't getting our resources to any market except the United States still. As a result, foreign oil has overtaken the markets where we would have displaced that foreign oil, and we are more transparent, we are more environmentally friendly, and it helps Canada going forward. It helps the world in its environmental footprint. You take a look at the actual OECD average. The OECD average, you know, gone from 82% dependence on fossil fuels in the OECD 12 years ago to 77% now. That's a marginal reduction. To pretend we're going to get there and jump off the bridge overnight and not affect everybody in their lives is something we do have to start addressing the climate concerns. And those climate concerns we're addressing best here at home.
Okay, MPs Greg McLean and Laurel Collins, hang on. I got the Environment Minister. I want to, Laurel, do you have like 10 seconds? Because Minister Guilbeault is waiting for me. I'll give you the last word.
This is helping the world globally when it comes to the environment. They are increasing oil and gas production. This is not helping the world. We need to ensure a livable planet for our children and our grandchildren.
Okay, Greg McLean, Laurel Collins, I really appreciate the two of you joining me.